I know we've had this discussion, I know you've spoken to Craig about it as well, but for those that might be tuning in for the first time this weekend, can you explain why you made the swap and what the sequence of events were?
Well, I mean, obviously it had been a very tough weekend for Liam, both in Melbourne and in China, and after discussing it internally, with the engineering team, it was very clear that Liam was struggling badly. We're not in a place that we want to be with the car at the moment either. And so we took the decision that we need to put some experience in the car and put Liam back in the racing bulls to continue his development, as a driver. So we made the decision that we take responsibility that we were asking too much too soon from Liam, and to switch them between the two cars.
Before I bring the other two, just very quickly though, at the end of last year you didn't feel that he was ready. You didn't think that was the case. So what has changed so quickly that you were able to then completely U-turn on that?
Well, I think that we felt that the trajectory that Liam was on at the end of last year was showing real promise. And we still believe that he's a driver with real talent, and that will come. And I think that the car's not where we want it to be at the moment. And I think you could see, particularly after the China race, that he was really struggling very badly with that. And of course we could have left it, but then 5, 6, 7 races down the line, how long do you give it? So I think for us to take control of the situation, say, look, we'll put you back in the racing bulls, continue your development there, put Yuki in the car with his experience, and obviously work hard to try and develop it.
We've been hearing a lot, let's say, complaints from media, fans, that Red Bull is mean because they give a car only for Max and they make sure that the other driver cannot drive it and it's possible. But isn't it the case that you haven't found a driver that's capable of feeling the car, working with engineers and helping Max? So obviously it ends up being Max's car because he's the only one feeling it and working.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Max, of course, in any organization, whoever is the dominant driver, you're going to feed off his information and feedback, and that drives the direction of the development. Now, what's been interesting, Yuki has jumped in the car and said, well, yeah, it doesn't feel so much different. It's a bit sharper at the front than the racing bulls, but the rest of it, feels pretty familiar. So I think hopefully his experience will help to continue to develop the car in obviously a set of regulations that are now you're looking for minutiae to improve the car.
Christian, I know in this sport we make judgments often too quickly. Sometimes you can go from hero to zero and then from zero to hero in just as much time. But I know that you guys clearly also make judgments very quickly as well. Yeah. So what is your judgment right now? I mean, he's done 3 sessions already. What do you make of it? I
think he's done very well. I think to jump in his home race under considerable pressure. What we've seen in the 3 sessions so far, very mature. He's got up to speed quickly. He's been on the pace and been giving very good feedback. So out of what we've seen so far, he's doing exactly what we were hoping for.
Quick one on Max. He doesn't give a monkey's who's in the other car, does he? He just wants the car to go faster. Yep. He's just said that. What's the problem with it at the moment? Both of them complaining about understeer and it.
I think we've got an imbalance in the car that obviously is not allowing them to commit to corner entries, and I think that it's an area of the car that we know that we need to work hard on, and I think that Max is very focused on that. He's putting the time in. He was with the engineers last week in the UK, going through the data, going through his feedback, and he's very committed to that, and of course a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes in Milton Keynes.
We know Max thrives under pressure. Sometimes are great in a small team, awful in a big team, and vice versa as well. Is Yuki the kind of driver that is better in a big team? Because he seems to be so much calmer than he's ever been.
Well, look, I mean, first of all, he's a real character, and so he brings an energy into the meeting room, and whether he tries to be funny or not, he's just naturally, he's just naturally very funny, and that that's a positive thing. And I think that he brings also a bunch of experience, and I think he has now almost 5 years of experience behind him of driving Formula One cars. So he's ready for this step now, and I think that only time will tell. But so far, what we've seen in the first couple of days, he's done a decent job.
Thanks, Christian. Yeah, it is exciting. Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing.